Evening all, and welcome to episode 6 of Kerbalism. Now, last time we set a probe in orbit of Minmus. There. We apparently have some contracts to get some other things going on there. We also set a probe off into Oblivion. I don't know where that one is. Probe 2, that one there. That has just entered the sphere of influence of Minmus. And we have Valentina bravely going round and round. So, what shall we do today? Well, I feel as if a flyby of the moon or Minmus, or possibly both, might be in order. But with a Kerbal on board, because, well, we've got all we can from probes. We actually need to bring back some science-based stuff, or material studies, the mysterious goo, something like that. So, let's have a look if we've got any contracts. We have got Floor Kerbin. They'll both be done when Valentina returns. Ferry VIPs. Rescue someone from orbit. Position a satellite in polar orbit of Kerbin. Gather science from around the moon. Gather science from the surface of the moon. Do we want to brave a mission to the moon? That one can be done. I don't think I'm quite ready for that yet. I probably could. We've got the technology, but I'm not sure if I'm capable of actually landing on the moon and getting back. That's the important part. So, let's build a craft to get to the moon and back again. Not landing on it, but just to it and back. And here we have it. The craft that I hope will be able to do a flyby of the moon, maybe Minmus, and bring Jebediah back home. It's got a 3-stage booster at the bottom that should all fire at the same time. It's got all its science and stuff at the top. We have... I cannot remember what we've got now. We've got plenty of food and things on board. It's all sorted out. About 40 days, I think it is. So, right. I am going to, once again, use gravity turn. I'm going to leave it at its default settings. Enable time warp. I'm not going to leave it at its default settings. There was something I changed and my brain has gone blank. I can't remember what it was. Was it the speed I changed? Or the turn angle? I'm not sure. Let's just push the button and see what happens, shall we? Well, it would appear as if things have gone terribly wrong. I'm not quite sure what. The upper stage clearly didn't have a strong enough engine on it to get us there. Was hoping she'd pull out of it. She did get a high enough speed, but it wasn't quite enough. So, well, that's our first failed launch. Gravity turn. Still, the heat shield will bring us back quite nicely, and if all else fails, Jebediah could always bail out and use his parachute. So, with the launch clearly going wrong of the first ship, we need to try something different. I am going to set the start MS to 150 instead, and give that a go. I'm still learning a lot about this mod. Oh, no, not 115Z, there we are. Still learning a lot about gravity turn, so let's see how this one goes. So, we're falling back to our doom again. Let's stop that and abort. Give Kerbal a complete headache. Oh. And try this again, shall we? And let's see if third time's a charm. Gravity turn is a wonderful mod. However, it cannot compensate for badly designed vessels. The second stage is clearly where it's failing, so I've got rid of the Tiltaria and I've added a swivel engine here. I've also changed the bottom centre engine to be the Reliant to give it a little bit more oomph at the bottom. So, third time's a charm. And there we are, well, not in orbit yet, but we're approaching Periaps. Brought us up to 40k on the Periaps. We're approaching Apoaps. Yes. So I just need to circularise a bit here. Too far. There we are. That'll do. An estimated 2-second burn time. Oh, I didn't put any reaction wheels on this. It's slow. Wow. So let's warp to the manoeuvre now. Oh, that was warp here. And there we are, in orbit. Excellent. I have actually installed better burn time because it's either been updated or it has been updated for a while and I missed it, but I certainly did miss that mod. So, we want to do a flyby of the moon. There is the moon. Target. And we want to fire when the moon is at about the 4 o'clock position, I think it is, so we generally want to fire about now. So let's point us prograde again. Get the nose round there. Should have added a reaction wheel somewhere here. It's heavy. One other thing I haven't done is add any solar panels. Now that was a serious mistake. This is going to run out of electric charge very, very quickly. I don't know whether that has an alternator or not. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Right. Does that charge? Yes. Okay, so we have an engine with an alternator. That's not bad. I know the Terrier doesn't, so we end up down at that. We're going to be in a little spot of bother. Right, I've had a complete and utter change of heart with this. If I send Kerbal off to the moon, he's going to freeze to death. Because I forgot solar panels. What an idiot. What an idiot. Oh, I don't know. Well, let's get up here and Try and bring Jeb back. Yes, look, we're not even at Apoap's yet and our batteries are almost flat. Yes, this was a terrible idea. Still. Let's do some science whilst we're here. And the windows popped up. That's interesting. Kerbalism was updated. I'm guessing that's part of it. Let's record the data. And it still ends up there. Right, so yes, there we are. Kerbalism's been updated to bring up the science window now, so we'll know what experiments do what. Excellent. There was one little thing I had an issue with, because you'd never know whether using the goo container was worth it or not, because you wouldn't know whether you'd done it all before. So, yeah. I'm happy with that change. Happy lot. However, we still need to bring Jeb home. We don't have much fuel left here. How do we do this without killing Jeb? Let's point retrograde again. And direct time to the batteries die. There we are, battery's dead. And then fire up the engine gently. There we are. That's how we're going to have to do this. We're going to have to feather it. Can't believe I forgot solar panels. Something as simple as solar panels. One day, Jeb, you will get to the moon. One day. Now, I'm not too fussed about this bringing the periapsis down. We do have a heat shield, so we can come in pretty fast, pretty hot, not worry about it too much. Just want to generally keep the batteries topped up for as long as I can. Really running low on fuel. Although I could, in theory, open up this fuel tank to allow that in. The Terrier, as I said, doesn't have turn off the torque in here. Where is it? Reaction wheels. No, that's number one. I want torque, that's it. Turn them off so they save electricity. The Terrier doesn't have an alternator, so it can't charge the batteries. And seeing as we're aborting this anyway, yeah, I think if I allow enable crossfeed on that, there we are. We've got a lot more fuel now for that little engine. And here we are, finally coming in. We started at over 3,000 meters a second coming in. A lot more than I really anticipated. The heat shield seems to be doing okay. Barely taking anything off it at the moment. I'm just hoping we slow down enough for the actual parachute to deploy, because we're coming down on sand, but it's not going to be soft. And we are safe. We're 12 kilometers up. We can deploy the parachute already. We've slowed down enough, so let's get down there and let's get a bit of science, shall we, whilst we're here? And a nice soft touchdown in the desert. Oh, we fell over. Come to a rolling stop. Want wonder if we can... Oh dear, what am I doing? What am I doing? Nope, Jeb's already done his whole rolly trick down one mountain. Don't need to do that again. Trying to get the thing to stand up. Doesn't seem to want to. And oh, there we are, the magic of reaction wheels. So let's grab a quickie crew report and a nice quick EVA. Still can't get any surface samples yet. I haven't unlocked that. Upgrade the research center for that, but yeah, there we are. They've also fixed the bug where it doesn't ask you to dump experiments when getting back in. That's good. Very, very good indeed. So, the fourth iteration of this craft. It has solar panels at the top, and an extra fuel tank for the centre stage, just to give it a bit more in the upper atmosphere. I think you all know how this goes by now, so I'll see you in orbit. And we're here. Not quite in orbit, but I'm not going for the orbit. Whilst doing the manoeuvre node, I discovered that firing now, literally now, will bring us an encounter with the moon. So, go straight for it, shall we? Plenty of fuel left as well. And in that third stage there, even though it had more weight to it, definitely helped. Coming up on it now, and there we are. There we are. That actually looks like an encounter with the moon. No, it's not. That's good enough for me. There is a way to get what they call a free return. I think you have to come the other side of the moon, and it slows you down enough to return to the atmosphere of the planet. Let's try here and see. So if we far enough to go through the moon, come out the other side. Yep, it looks as if... Well, it looks as if we would come straight back and collide with Kerbal. I know there are some mountains on the moon that are quite tall, so I'm going to go with a 20 kilometre. There we are. 20 kilometres. And when we come out from behind the moon, we will plummet straight back to Kerbal to certain death. But we can figure that out at the time. Get our nose round. Still didn't add a reaction wheel to this. Should have done it down here somewhere in between these engines. Fuel tank, sorry. But hey ho. No, had auto strut on some of them, not the others. I need to play with the fuel priority as well to see about draining fuel backwards or forwards, or not really sure what the balance is. I know doing it evenly leaves the craft pretty stable, but sometimes moving the fuel back can change the way it works, and yeah, not too sure on that. Maybe have to do a bit of research. We are in the planet's shadow, so we're using electricity. but that shouldn't be a problem. Crossing the radiation belt, and I've overshot the mark. Yep, there we are. Of course, I didn't put any shielding in the pod, so Kerbal is going to get possibly a bit more green than he was before. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let's stick with that, and I'll see you at the moon. And here we are, caught by the moon's gravity. We're going to be very close coming in. Looks like we'll clear the mountains by a long way. Not sure what the tallest mountain is on the moon, but have in the past actually run into it, so that's not something I want to do. Let's warp ourselves over to the closest possible point we can get to. Badoo. And for some strange reason the camera changed. Because it now knows we're going to plummet into the planet. But that's okay, because we are here for science. The mystery goo. The science container. Radiation. Pressure. And temperature. Well as a brew report. And we'll get an EVA as well whilst we're here. EVA report. Here we are. Back in you go. So, I want to get high up as well. Let's go over to here. We're in the shadow again. I'm going to be in the shadow for a little while, I think. But we can do another temperature scan. Apparently we have already. Radiation. We have already. Of course, our probe that is out in interplanetary space, that did a flyby of the moon, didn't it? So, yes, we have all these. Okay, let's get very high up, shall we, and try again. Our batteries are running low. Yep, we've got all the data here. Right, I'm going to fire the engine, charge the batteries. Also because it will change our trajectory coming out, and here we are. Now we're not crashing into the planet. Now we're going to skim past it at 128 kilometers. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. Oh, our batteries are still low. The moon is obscuring the sun an awful lot. Let's point ourselves towards Kerbal and fire the engine again. I think. Basically want to make sure I'm staying roughly the same sort of orbit, but need to be firing the engine, that alternator. So, we're also very low on fuel. Let's hold it there. Our periapse is going up. That unfortunately is of course reading from the moon, not from Kerbal. That's going up as well. That's not too bad. Hopefully it should be coming out of the sun soon. I'll bring that back down again. Ah, there we are. And our solar panels can start running again. Ooh. I'm just going to burn off the rest of the fuel here, I think. Shouldn't take too long. Five units left. 4. And there we are. That stage is dead. Let's drop that here. And that makes the whole craft a lot more manoeuvrable. So let's get back into Kerbin's sphere of influence. Here we are. And we are heading down. Down already. So we will need point retrograde. I think I've done all the experiments up here. Crew report. Very round. Of course, could have got a crew report from high above the moon. The pod didn't have any crew. Everything else we've done. That's okay. I want to bring that down. So fire up the engine. Bring it down to about 60, I think. There we are. And what I'll do is when we get down basically in the atmosphere, I will fire the engine, burn off all the fuel that's in here. Hopefully slowing us down enough to, well, to not burn up. Here we are, just starting the edge of the atmosphere. You have a dart to point retrograde and fire the engines. I do intend to completely dump this stage, obviously, and that's interesting. I could have sworn I got material bays. Well, I'm an idiot. But that's nothing new. You should know this by now if you've been watching the series. I make an awful lot of mistakes. Just going to burn off every bit of fuel we've got. We are coming in the opposite way to normal, but that shouldn't matter for re-entry. I'll burn off all the fuel, slow us down, and then drop this stage off and let the heat shield take us in. There we are, we're definitely caught. Don't want to be going round and round and round. Surprising just how useful that little Terrier engine is. Its low profile makes it absolutely ideal for landers. Now, let's do that. And might as well turn off the SAS because, well, that end's naturally heavy. But yeah, the little Terrier engine, very useful for landers because it doesn't protrude out so far, so that the landing legs can get around it. And it is pretty useful in a vacuum, not so much in an atmosphere, but, well, what more do you want? We will be coming down possibly somewhere new, a different biome. Really sure? Either way, we're accelerating at the moment, but we should be fine. We've come in hot on this before. And there we are. Jebediah successfully home. Kerbin's grasslands. We've never been here before. Get a little bit of cheeky science here. Oh, wrong one. EVA report. There we are. In you go. And welcome home. There we are. 171 science from that. We've got 354. and some funds. Jeopardar gained a bit of experience, but we are flooded once again. Yes, see the outline of the buildings there. I don't know what does that, but we'll have to get the bilge pumps out and drain the KSE once again. And whilst those Kerbals pump away, we shall bring this episode to a close. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope to see you again next time. Until then, as always, have fun.